Coach Massi here from M2 Speed, Strength, and Performance, also known as Massi Machado Strength and Conditioning, with another episode of Move Your Feet. And we're going to go right to the emails here. It says, Coach Massi, thanks so much for all of the encouraging videos. I watched your last video that began to address your load explode movement. Having been to one of your power, speed, and agility workshops, I'm fairly familiar with this progression. That's pretty cool. Could you please spend some time in refreshing my memory as to the relation of what you call dead stall power or dead stall force? I remember you having walked us through an objective measurement formula at that workshop. Thank you very, very much. Elena Arlaski and Ian Peace Performance, San Bernardino. I'm assuming California. Well, thank you very much, Elena, and we are going to move forward on that. So if you remember last time, we went from toss across, we progressed it up to the load explode, or I should say the lateral load explode. It's a kneeling, a half kneeling bound. I'm sure I didn't invent it. I'm not a rocket scientist because of it. But today we're going to take a little bit of a look at dead stall power, or what we call dead stall force production, coming out of the hole from zero, completely stopped, and take a look at what that looks like. So I'm going to call Maddie back out so we can sort of just refresh the viewers' memories, Maddie. Can you please just show them one more time the actual lateral load explode movement? I'm right back. So it's essentially a lateral half kneeling bound, okay? I did want to address that. You could put a little bit of a more proprioceptive element in it by doing what we call the load explode with a 45-degree element. So Maddie, just show what that looks like. And he looks back, he goes 45 degrees, and then he comes back down. Okay, so, wow, what's that mean? It's a great little proprioception drill. It's fun. Sometimes you get families in competition, they fall over each other's feet trying to do it quick, but it's loads of fun. In addition, it gives us an idea if they have the ability to not only move through the planes of movement, but to take this multi-planar movement, cut through the planes, and then regain the acquisition of the ground. So from ground acquisition back to ground reacquisition, it's a cool little drill. But I did want to spend a couple of minutes addressing Elena's question about it as an objective measurement. I go quotes because I'm not sure it is, man. I know that force equals mass times acceleration. Then we get into the work aspect of it, and then we get into the power aspect of it. And I'm not a PhD, so I don't want to expose myself and trip over my own tongue. But I am going to tell you that I know we're working in some compromised times right now. Coming out of COVID, some people are still working out of their trunks. They're still outside. So I wanted to sort of get this method to you, this formula, which I think is a pretty good objective measure on the dead stall power. So first of all, what is that dead stall power protocol that we have, dead stall force protocol? So Maddie, if you get back down into that half kneeling, so this is the load explode. Why do we call it load explode? Because he's going to load there and he's going to explode out. Now Maddie, let me ask you something. When you push off that left leg to come this way, are you on the inside or outside edge of your foot? He's on the inside edge of his foot because he needs to express that power, ground reaction force down into the ground. And some people will say, well, what do you mean there's no reaction? Well, actually there is. If you put force down, you can put force into the ground. You don't have to do a stomp. We're not quite there yet. Just coming from this position, you're putting force down. You want to get that ground reaction force, that GRF, back up to get you moving the opposite way. Now, a few things I'll start to look at is, honestly, I'll see if the person in this objective measurement test, if they will try to do what I call the old man. So if Maddie's going to leap out this way, I'm going to see if he's going to go anterior tilt first, which is sort of like a little bit of a preparatory assistance movement or preparatory assist me movement to get him out. I want him coming where he's at without that big rotation, just where he's at with his hinges and levers and pushing himself up, out, and through the movement. So we're going to make sure that we don't do that. As you can see, Maddie's starting near some tape. So here comes the measurement part. And we do have a formula. We address that more if you come out to one of our clinics. But we do have a formula of how to sort of translate this into a more discernible number. So here's what we got. We have painter's tape, blue painter's tape, marked at every foot here. And then on this pole, we took our black markings and we went every foot with the final marking of 5 feet at the orange. We put the gradiated markings here with marker, and if you're outside, it's no problem because these marks can be conducted with chalk on pavement, on asphalt. This could represent a fence post. It could represent a basketball hoop. It could represent the back of your car or your vehicle with some chalk markers, with some tape. All of this tape does wonders. So we now have basically two places to take a look at our measurement, okay? It's like kind of like a graph, right? So we have a graph here, and we're going to take a look at the feet here, per second. Break out your stopwatches when he does the movement. You'll time it. You'll look at the feet here, I should say the elevation here, the distance here, the elevation here, plus your stopwatch over time, and you can start to build an objective measurement formula for that. Now, Maddie, that's like a huge distance, right? That's like 9 feet. So for Maddie to cover 9 feet, in general, we also like to use, let me see if I can pick one of these off. These are really handy to get. Excuse me for stepping out of frame, but if you guys can go online and order, this is nothing more than a piece of magnetic measuring tape. These are also handy too to put up on your racks when you get back inside, or if you are inside, and kind of express a little better marking on them so you can use it as another measurement tool. But 9 feet is going to be rather aggressive for him to cover. He's either going to have to marry himself to less elevation, or he's just going to really have to work harder to get from there to there. So you're going to also video this. This is simple. You would be on that side facing your client or athlete with the video. Maybe you can use the timer on your video to express stopwatch while you video. Put a stopwatch in your hand. But for playback, we also want to mark his movement. So what you can see is he's got a PB shirt on, and that's a pretty good representation of something you could use as a consistent marker. Now, as a person grows vertically, is there going to be a little bit of a disparity between the feet and, yeah, boom. But normally between hip and torso, we're going to largely remain the same. So I'm just reach down and grab one of these pieces of blue tape here, because we're not going to eat that one, man. That's way out there. And we're just going to take some of our turf off here, and we're just going to go like this. So now, when you video Maddie in the course of this movement, you'll have something to relate to this side, okay? So Maddie, just give that a shot. Let me step out of frame. So I would say on my go, or on his go, you have to make yourself clear. So on my go, push, and then back, good. Now another thing, Matt, try to make this strike quicker. Get in and out. Express that power. Go, bang, good. So there's another variable. Time from here to here, time back from here to here, elevation here, distance here. Will start to give you some really good numbers to plug in, and it's super simple. Let me just take this off from here. You're also going to see that as you start to coach this movement, you can help somebody to cut down on elevation. They're maybe not getting as much distance horizontally, and they're getting too much elevation vertically. You're going to have to kind of bring that back together. This is a really important movement. Like I had mentioned once again, and I'm going to revisit this real quick. Get back down in that load explode. Okay, so I'm even going to kick his leg back a little bit, okay? I almost want the person to work from a deficit. Now you want to get technical? Yes, I don't want the email from the PhD who's trying to take this apart. We do have to get technical. If you're too inline, that could be a problem. So you can also measure heel to knee, which if you slide those markers over, puts them at about a foot apart. Also, you're going to measure from heel to knee, front and back, to know what his spread is here. You can make this as technical or as simple as you want. What I am telling you is this is a very easy movement to conduct with your athletes and clients. Once again, set up Maddie real quick. Remember, we want him using his ankles, knees, and hips to move, expressing ground reaction force. So when he goes, go! One of the key elements I'm going to be looking for, did Maddie do the old man? Did he lean to go first? Did he bucket the knee first? Did he bucket the hip? Thanks a lot, buddy. In any event, that's the load explode movement. We have a series of dead stall power protocols. I should say the dead stall power protocol has a series of progressions. also known as dead stall force, how you come out of the hole. Once again, be creative. Take something like this. You have your vertical measurement, you have your horizontal measurement, you got your distance, you have your elevation, you have your clock, you have your iPhone, you got a piece of painter's tape, whatever you need to use. Be creative. Email me, please. This is such a great protocol to build upon. Obviously, you have to flip them around and measure the other side. You want to make sure you know what the power variation is or the force variation is. But until next time, Coach Massi here from M2 Speed, Strength, and Performance. Greatness is forged, not fabricated. That's your day.